Hello and welcome everybody to another video. Today's video is an exciting one for me because it is my first sponsored video. Today's brought to you by Hooke Road, who very generously sent me a roof rack for a Toyota Tacoma to both install and review for you guys. So without further ado, let's jump in. So first things first, the box. Whew, it's a heavy one, a long one. But this should contain everything that we need to install this roof rack. I'm actually very excited for the opportunity to check out this roof rack because it is arguably the most affordable quality roof rack on the market. Now, a roof rack that costs nearly half of the cost of the competitors might get you a bit worried. However, I've got some confidence in this one. It's got some good reviews online, and I'm excited to actually be checking it out for myself in person. Today we will be installing it on a friend's 2020 TRD Off-Road. The install of this rack should be very similar to the install of many other roof racks for a double cab Tacoma. Access cab requires some extra drilling, so this might not be the install for you. But if you've got a double cab, check out this video. It should be very similar. Anyway, I'm excited to check out this rack. Let's get into the unboxing, check out some parts. Now, it is very important that I mention to you guys that Hooke Road's Black Friday sale is going on right now through November 27th, so go check them out, link below. Let's get into this unboxing.
When you first open the box, you're immediately greeted by the front fairing, which is finished in a nice textured black finish, as is the entire roof rack. Followed by the rear fairing. Keep an eye out for this little white box. This white box is full of your hardware. Don't want to throw this one away. Next is the crossbar that you'll use as the support for the front fairing. We'll come back to this. Followed by the side rails. The side rails look great, laser cut and finished in the same textured black finish. They also have the mounting brackets pre-installed, which helps with installation. And lastly, we've got the crossbars. These are the bars that actually form your roof rack and that you would mount accessories to. Once you have your parts unboxed, it's time for installation. And of course, keep an eye out for the installation guide. For me, it was hidden on the underside of the box lid. Nearly threw it away. Instructions are available online, but it helps to have them in person. Prior to installation, I took inventory of all of the hardware, made sure that all of our screws, washers, nuts were where they needed to be. Hooke Road recommends assembling the rack on the ground, so that's what we did. Started by mounting the shortest crossbar into the front fairing. For this, you'll use M6 by 10 screws, black flat washers M6 by 20 by 1, and the T-sliding slot nuts. Obviously, those T-slot nuts slide back and forth. Make sure that they're lined up with the holes on the face of the fairing. Screws go through the face of the fairing into the rail on the back of the fairing. Once you've done that, set the front fairing aside, and it's time to mount the crossbars on the two side rails. For this, you'll use the slightly larger black bolts, the M8 by 16, and the larger black flat washers, the M8 by 20 by 1.5. As a note, make sure the machine slot in the rail of the crossbar is facing up so you can easily mount accessories. This is pretty self-explanatory. There's no slots on the bottom of the rail, so just make sure that those slots are pointed up. Once you've mounted all of the rails, it's time to install the fairings. To do this, use the black cat bolt screws M8x20 and the black flat washers M8x20 by 1.5, and insert those from the outside pointed inwards, and on the inside of the fairing attach the flange hex locking nuts. Those are M8. You'll do this same step for both the front and the rear fairing. Hooke Road recommends leaving these slightly loose so that you can make adjustments to the fairings once the rack is on top of your vehicle. Congrats, now your roof rack is assembled. Let's flip it over now and install the rubber mats on all 4 of the feet. This is an important step before installing the rack on the roof of the truck. Now let's step away from the rack over to the cab of the truck. First things first, we're going to remove the weather stripping from the roof of the truck, and we're going to locate the mounting holes. For this rack, you're only going to use the front and rear most holes. These holes are covered up by a sort of tape, so you'll need to punch your way through those. Pay attention to the brackets provided. They're labeled with front left, front right, rear right. Make sure that you place these brackets in their appropriate positions. Hooke Road does not call for this, but we opted to use some silicone sealant to add some extra waterproofing to these, and plumber's tape on the screws when installing. We did not want any leaks. Once the brackets are in place, it's time to put the roof rack on the truck. An extra set of hands is certainly helpful for this step. It made it easy to just carry it over the front of the truck and set it down gently. Once it's on, it's time to tighten the screws. The front ones were very easy to access. For the rear, we opted to remove the rearmost crossbar to give us some easy access to the bolts, and then reinstall it after the bolts were torqued down. And last but not least, we decided to trim the weather stripping to fit, just to give the rack a little bit cleaner of a look. But at this point, your rack is installed. Enjoy.
Well, I've got to be honest. The fit and finish of this product pleasantly surprised me. With how much less expensive it is than a lot of the big name competitors out there, it definitely delivers. Sure, it might fall short in some areas, like the load capacity might not be quite as high as some of the others, but overall, the product that you get for your money is actually a pretty big win in this case. I think that it certainly looks the part. It fits the truck very well. Again, all the hardware is included. It's well marked. The instructions are clear. Installation was a breeze, honestly, especially with an extra set of hands. And I really don't have very many complaints. I think that for the price that you pay, especially right now during their Black Friday sale and Cyber Monday sale, it's a very great option, especially for somebody who's building their truck on a budget, which I'm a big proponent of. I think that whatever gets you out there and does the job is probably the most important thing. You don't have to go out and spend $600, $700, $800, $1,000 on a roof rack. This will certainly do the job. It will carry your kayaks, it'll carry your luggage, whatever you want to throw up there. Again, the only downside I would say is that the load capacity is not quite as high as some of the other ones. Otherwise, it's got the looks, it's got functionality. You could throw your traction boards up there, you could throw some roto packs up there, you could put a Pelican case up there, stash your recovery gear. I mean, it'll do the job that any of the other roof racks will do. You can mount a light bar to it. And it looks great. I think the looks of it is one of the things I was most impressed by. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about the textured black finish. I think once we got it on the truck, it actually looked very nice. It looks rugged and it looks like it'll hold up for a while. Time will tell how it actually holds up, and I will try to do a follow-up video in the future for you guys just so that you can get a better idea. But I still think that for the price, this rack is an awesome option, truly. And not just because Hooke Road sponsored this video and sent me this rack for free. I genuinely think that for the price, it is a very good option. I don't think that there's I really don't think there's another rack on the market that will deliver the quality that this does for the price that this does. That said, maybe Prinsu, maybe up top, somebody like that will have a higher quality product. But again, I think that for the price, this one does an incredible job looking the part and delivering the functionality that you hope for from a roof rack. With that said, guys, again, go check out Hooke Road's Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. It's going on right now until the 27th. And as always, take it easy.